Just beyond the warm coastline of San Diego, beneath the rolling Pacific swells, lives one of the most powerful, valuable, and misunderstood creatures in the ocean, the Pacific bluefin tuna, a fish capable of crossing the entire Pacific basin, a fish prized by chefs and sport anglers, a fish whose very survival has become a global controversy. This is the story of the tuna's rise, fall, and unexpected resurgence in the waters off Southern California, and why San Diego has become the epicenter of a movement to understand and protect one of the ocean's most extraordinary predators. The Pacific bluefin tuna is a marvel of biological engineering. Built like a missile, it is one of the few warm-blooded fish on Earth. This ability to retain heat gives the bluefin unmatched power, speed, and endurance. They can dive to depths of more than 3,000 feet, then rocket back to the surface in seconds. Their vision is sharp, their muscles dense, and their endurance nearly unmatched in the animal kingdom. Most remarkable of all, they migrate across the entire Pacific Ocean, from spawning grounds near Japan to feeding grounds off California and Baja. Bluefin complete the journey of more than 6,000 miles, often in a matter of months. They aren't just fish, they're aquatic athletes, symbols of power, mystery, and resilience. Long before San Diego became known for tourism, surfing, and craft beer, it was a tuna town. In the earliest 20th century, San Diego's tuna fleet was among the largest in the world. Generations of Italian, Portuguese, and Japanese American fishermen built a thriving industry that fed millions of Americans. The city was home to major canneries, processing plants, and boatyards, and at its peak, San Diego was proudly known as the tuna capital of the world. Back then, it wasn't bluefin that filled the boats, it was albacore, skipjack, and yellowfin. Bluefin, larger and more elusive, were considered almost mythical. But as decades passed and global fisheries expanded, pressures on tuna populations intensified, and bluefin, slow to mature and highly migratory, became especially vulnerable. By the late 20th century, scientists began raising alarms. Pacific bluefin stocks had plummeted. Some estimates suggested they were at just 2 to 4% of their historic levels. Heavy fishing in the western Pacific, especially the capture of juveniles before they could reproduce, pushed the species towards collapse. In San Diego, sightings of bluefin grew rare. Sports fishermen would spend entire summers without seeing a single one. Some believed the bluefin migration route had permanently shifted. Others feared the worst, that the giants of the Pacific were disappearing. But then something no one expected happened. Around 2014, fishermen offshore of San Diego began reporting something extraordinary. Massive bluefin, 100, 200, and even 300-pound fish were suddenly showing up in huge numbers. They dive frequently, hunting at depths of 1,000 feet or more. They preferred dynamic, shifting environments where cold currents meet warm waters. And most importantly, San Diego's offshore waters are among the most productive feeding grounds in the eastern Pacific. Warm waters bring anchovy, red crab blooms, and squid, creating a buffet that attracts bluefin from across the ocean. But the tagging revealed something else. Despite the local abundance, the global population was still far below historic levels. In San Diego, the bluefin is more than a species, it's a cultural phenomenon. Long-range and multi-day sport fishing is a way of life here. Boats depart at dawn from Point Loma, often traveling 80 to 200 miles offshore in search of feeding grounds. A single hookup with a 200-pound bluefin can last hours, testing strength, patience, and gear. For many anglers, landing a big bluefin is the ultimate ocean achievement. For chefs, bluefin represent the pinnacle of seafood. Its deep, red flesh, rich flavor, and marbled toro make it one of the most prized fish on Earth. In Tokyo auctions, a single bluefin can sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars. But with value comes responsibility. Many San Diego restaurants now emphasize sustainability, harvested tuna, encouraging customers to understand where their seafood comes from. Managing bluefin tuna is complicated because the fish itself crosses political boundaries with ease. Two major regulatory bodies oversee the stock: the Western and Central Pacific Fisheries Commission and the Inter-American Tropical Tuna Commission. Together, they set quotas, limit juvenile harvests, and design long-term rebuilding plans. These plans aim to restore stocks to sustainable levels within the next few decades. But enforcement remains challenging. Illegal fishing, inaccurate reporting, and high global demand put constant pressure on the species. San Diego anglers often find themselves in the middle of this debate, advocating for sustainable limits while enjoying one of the healthiest bluefin fisheries in the world. Despite ongoing challenges, the future of the Pacific bluefin tuna is not without hope. In Mexico and Australia, juvenile bluefin are collected and raised in offshore pens until they reach market size. While controversial, this reduces pressure on wild adult fish. Japan has achieved what once seemed impossible, breeding bluefin tuna entirely in captivity. Though still expensive and limited, this technology may someday supply global demand without relying on wild populations. Modern satellite tags, drones, and genetic analysis are often helping scientists identify migration corridors and critical habitat zones, knowledge that could transform conservation efforts. San Diego, with its fleet, research institutions, and passionate ocean community, is positioned to play a major role in the future. The bluefin tuna are officially back in San Diego, and the seasons to come will shape up to be one for the books. From the early morning foamers to those massive nighttime bites, the signs are clear. The fish are here, and they're hungry. The Pacific bluefin is more than a species. It's a reminder of how wild and powerful our oceans still are. Its the return to San Diego was a surprise, a gift, and a warning. A reminder that with care, science, and sustainable practices, even a species on the brink can recover. The story of the bluefin is still being written here in San Diego, across the Pacific, and in the minds of everyone who has ever watched a bluefin rise from the deep.